And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Q&A here on the Film Stock channel. It is Wednesday, May 21st, 6:02 p.m. Eastern, for those wondering if you're watching on the replay or if you're live now. And I'm here to hang out and answer your questions. If you don't know, I hang out for an hour to an hour 30, sometimes an hour 45, dare I say, and hang out and answer your questions. That's really just it. It's very chill, very laid back. Fun times are had, and hopefully we have some good conversation tonight. But I got myself a water for a water break, and you know what? I got a Diet Dr. Pepper that I'm going to open right now because I can. There we go. Diet Dr. Pepper. Delicious stuff. But yeah, if you're in here, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Hope you're having a good week. Hit that like button. It's the best way to help support the stream, and boom, it's easy and quick. You can do it real quick. And also, if you're in here, consider sending a super chat. It's a way to guarantee that I get to your question, comment, or concern, because I will not be able to get to everything in the chat. I wish I could. That's just not the world we live in. But I will do my best to get to as much as I can. I think we got some good stuff to talk about tonight, though. Mission Impossible this week. I've seen it. Lilo and Stitch this week. I've seen it. Fear Street Prom Queen. I've seen it. So I can't say something about that movie because of embargo, but I've seen the big movies this week. There's a lot of TV to talk about. There's Stranger Things news, Marvel, DC, lots of stuff. So let's get down to business. And we actually have a super chat to kickstart the stream real quick from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. You're ahead of the curve, man. You already got a super chat in before the stream even started. It says, hey, Chris, do you think we will see the giant monster with a big mouth that Nancy referenced in the Pop episode sometime in season 5? So I actually saw you ask this question before I started the stream. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go rewatch that scene from Papa real quick. And you make a good point, because it's not just that, but seemingly awful things that are going to happen to the Wheeler family. Holly, Karen, and Mike, I believe. So, I hope not. I hope nothing awful happens to them. But I would be down to see a new, I guess you could say, monster creature from the Upside Down in this season. And I think they probably will do something with that. Even if it's like a fake out and we actually see Nancy's vision, but it's not real, that could be something cool. But I'd be willing to bet some sort of new creature from the Upside Down will make an appearance, because every season we've gotten something new, right? Demo Bats last season, the technical design of Vecna last season. Season 2, you had Demo Dog. Season 1 was Demo Gorgon. So yeah, I definitely think this is on the table. And if Nancy's vision, right, the one that Vecna sort of shows her the future, if that comes true, the Wheeler family might be cooked. They might be cooked, Michael. So appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. And I think that's a fair point. That vision, I think we're going to come back to that at some point, maybe actually multiple times in season 5. Mateus, what's going on? How you doing? Nick, welcome in. I have not watched this trailer. I decided I'm not going to watch the new trailer because you know what? I've seen enough. I'm sold already. Trin, what's up? The Craving mention. What is your ranking of the Mission Impossible movies? Stay tuned for a video dropping later this week. I don't want to reveal it here because I have a full video dedicated to that dropping in the next few days. I'm actually seeing The Final Reckoning Round 2 tomorrow before I film that, just to make sure I know my ranking. But I have my ranking. It's just not public information yet. But I will say it's just damn difficult to top Fallout. That's my response to that. Watt Family Vlogs. Hello there. How you doing? Main Gamer in the chat. Hope all's well with you also. Super curious. I know you're not crazy about it, but are you going to an early screening of Karate Kid Legends? Let me take a sip of this Dr. Pepper Zero real quick. Or Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm seeing it next week. I'm seeing it next week. And I don't ever like to be the I told you so guy. But I reacted to this trailer, and people were coming at me left and right. You're a moron. Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan are going to be all over this movie. You don't know what you're talking about. This is going to be better than Cobra Kai, blah, 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 blah. I've never felt this passionate about actually making a response video in my entire life. Usually I just let things go. Someone says, screw you. You don't know anything about movies. You're a moron. Cool, whatever. Have a nice day. And I just let it go. This, though, if what I've heard is true, I may have to make a response video to my trailer reaction and be like, we need to talk about the Karate Kid Legends. And I would go and I would genuinely consider screenshotting everyone who was like, you're a moron. Ralph Macchio is going to be top of the cast. I've heard Macchio's barely in the movie. I said that from the jump. This is a Sony movie. It's an hour and a half. They often mismarket their movies. Look at the Marvel run they've had. They'll show like the final shot of a movie, or look at Uncharted even. Look at Uncharted. They put a shot in one of the trailers of Wahlberg solely with the mustache. That's a post-credit scene. That's not even in the movie. So Macchio's screen time, I would imagine, is 10 minutes tops. And so we'll see. But I've heard this movie stinks. Again, I'm always going to see a movie and form my own opinion, but I've heard it stinks. And I won't be surprised if it does. So if that's the case, I'll be honest about it. Hopefully I like it. I don't think I will. But yeah, I'm going to review it next week. I'll have some Karate Kid videos. Probably going to do a ranking of the movies as well. I got to rewatch the 2010 movie. I haven't seen that since theaters. And then I got to watch, I've never seen the next Karate Kid, which I talk about that all the time in the Cobra Kai vids, but I don't know if I'll rewatch the trilogy. I've seen it fairly recently, the OG trilogy. I may, but we'll see. But no, yeah, I'll be seeing this next week and have a review, an out-of-theater reaction, a ranking, potentially a rant video, spoilery, if it ticks me off that much, which I have a feeling it will. We'll see though. But yeah, I'm going to cover the Karate Kid Legends for sure. I have not watched School Spirits, but I've been asked about that a pretty decent, like a decent number of times. People have mentioned that. Caden, what's going on? Benjamin in the chat. Shout out Soli, the man. What's your early pick for most surprising movie of the year? Najah 2. It was not on my radar coming into this year, and it was for the longest time, and still is right up there with my favorite movie of 2025. I didn't even know what Najah was coming into this year. So absolutely, that's the most surprising movie of the year because I gave it a 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5. And I really have thought about moments from that movie since seeing it. I want to watch it again at some point. I don't know how I'll obtain it. I don't know if it I'll have to do my research on if they're even doing a US physical media release for it or not. But Najah 2 is the biggest surprise of the year for me because there have been a lot of disappointments, movies that I was excited for, but the opposite of that, right? A surprise, this wasn't on my radar at all. And it's maintained a top 2, slot for me since I saw it back in March. Is that right? Time flies. It's almost June. What are we doing? But no, yeah, I would say Najah 2 is my underdog movie of the year. Jack says, you excited for Tadum? Absolutely. In fact, I actually have a video that is in my YouTube right now. I was editing down to the wire and it just finished the checks like 2 minutes before I went live. That is about Stranger Things, and it's going to go up at whenever the stream ends. I gotta make the thumbnail real quick, and then it'll be live. So there's a video full length. Everyone in the stream, be on the lookout for that. But it's sort of about Tadum, sort of about a rumor. Anyway, though, this question: have we seen Fear Street Prom Queen? I've seen it. I can't say anything, but I can say that I have a review dropping at midnight. Technically tomorrow night. So like midnight Friday, you know what I mean? Like that's technically 9 in the evening for the West Coast fam out there. So yeah, tomorrow night, Fear Street Prom Queen review. And you know what? For those who've asked, I finally watched the Fear Street trilogy. Obviously, I wouldn't have watched Prom Queen without watching it, but I watched the Fear Street trilogy. And it's been 4 years of people asking me to watch that, and I finally did it. And if you want to watch with me, you can on my Patreon. I did commentary tracks. I know my buddy Jacob Starcourt, he'd watched the tracks and texted me about them. And a couple others watched the tracks as well. And so I was considering making like a highlight video to post here on YouTube. That's a lot of stress behind the scenes. But regardless, yeah, I've seen the Fear Street trilogy. It's my jam. I also have reviews on Letterboxd if you want to go watch those. But yes, I've seen Prom Queen. And I'll have a review dropping very, very soon. Lucas, hello. How you doing? I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Did I end up watching You Season 5? This is from Michael. I did. I thought they stuck the landing. It wasn't the best season. The first 2 are still the best to me. But I really like where they ended with Joe's character. That was the most important thing. You got 3 routes in a sort of, I'm not going to spoil it, but in a serial killer type show, or any type of show where, there's an unhinged criminal who's the main character, they're either going to die, they're either going to go to jail for the rest of their life, or they're going to get away. And one of those 3 is what happens, obviously. I think it was the fitting route. So I dug what they did. And yeah, it had some Made some decisions I didn't love along the way in the season, but overall, I think they nailed it with him. And I really dug the final lines of the season. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that, but I did. Neil says, will you watch more Kurosawa movies? Seven Samurai is my favorite movie. Yeah, that's a great film. I've seen it. I've seen Hidden Fortress. I haven't seen all of his movies. There's still a lot, for me to explore, but I was real interested in 2020 in his movies. That's when I watched those two. And then I had like COVID, so I watched those two movies. I was like, it's now or never, really. And so I watched a bunch of those movies on my watch list in 2020. Those two were on it. So yeah, I'd be down to explore more Akira Kurosawa in the future. I just don't know where I would start. We got, again, Starcourt best mod in the game, monitoring the chat this evening. We got 75 people watching live. Hell yeah. Hit that like button. I'm going to take a sip of Dr. Pepper for that. And yeah, hit that like button. That's all I can say. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get your question, comment, concern. And let's just keep having a good time. It's already been 11 minutes. These things fly by. Liana, I always mess that up. I'm apologies, but welcome in. Good to see you here as always. Art says, I love Stranger Things. I do too. Am I going to live stream to Dumb? I don't think I'm going to live stream to Dumb. I think I'm going to be monitoring it closely behind the scenes with my camera ready to go for whenever they drop the teaser. What are your thoughts on Disney announcing the Spider-Man 4 villains? Yeah, so I saw a tweet about this. I didn't read into it, but I saw that Scorpion might be coming in, and that's like my dream. I've wanted Scorpion in the MCU since, I guess, 2017 when Homecoming came out. I was like, please, for the love of God, whatever it takes, get Michael Mando back in this role. At that time in 2017, I had not watched Better Call Saul. Now I have seen Better Call Saul, and Michael Mando as Nacho, incredible performance, and like his final scene in the show, I won't spoil it, but that acting, I'll go back to that clip sometimes and just be like, this is masterful. So yeah, him would be sick. I also saw Tombstone and another villain might be in the picture as well. Interesting stuff to have the multiple villains. And that to me kind of does signify they are doing more of a street level Spidey flick. So I'm now of the belief that movie is going the Ant-Man and the Wasp route. What I mean by that is Ant-Man and the Wasp dropped post Infinity War. However, the events of the movie happened before shit hit the fan, right? And then the end of the movie, the post-credit scene, it was like, oh, this is actually going to tie in. So I think that it'll technically be set pre-Doomsday in the timeline. That's the only way, because I don't know how you could have a Spider-Man movie in between Avengers movies that is like following up. I think the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to tie into Doomsday / Secret Wars, but the majority of the movie, it's going to be more of a contained story. Okay. Let's see. That's a great Diet Dr. Pepper tonight. Let's see. Ben the Gem says hello. Hello there. Yeah, I'll be doing a Fear Street ranking, including Prom Queen. It'll be dropping later in the week, probably Friday. Yeah, it'll be dropping on Friday because technically my review drops really early Friday morning. So yeah, that'll be coming out for sure. For sure. Have I seen the Zootopia 2 teaser? What are my thoughts? I watched the teaser, but I've said this before, and I usually get backlash. So I'm preparing. I've actually not seen Zootopia. It's one of the few Walt Disney Animation Studios films I have not seen. I had this whole journey I was doing in 2023. I got very far. It was where I was watching Disney movies and rewatching movies I had seen. And I got all the way to Princess and the Frog. That's the one I'm stopped on right now. I'll pick that back up at some point because like I've seen the movies. I have my Letterboxd reviews. It's only been about a year and a half. I think I started in the fall of 23. So it's been like a year and a half, since I took that on. It's not like I forgot everything. I'll resume that challenge one day on my own time. I'm in the middle of a Spielberg challenge again on my own time. Bit of a hiatus. I'm at a crossroads with that because the next movie is the second Jurassic movie, and I was going to do a Jurassic rewatch before Rebirth, and so it feels almost foolish to just watch Jurassic Park 2 or The Lost World and then turn around and watch it again. Like I already watched Jurassic Park, which I don't mind watching that again, but to watch The Lost World again, that is asking a lot. Especially this is like a self-imposed thing. Like it's my own journey. So I'm just going to tweak it and be like, yeah, I'm going to wait in a couple months probably, and then just rewatch Jurassic Park and then watch Jurassic Park 2. And then I can go to Amistad, which is next to my Spielberg journey. Makes it all easier. And I don't have to watch The Lost World twice, something I don't think anyone should have to do, respectfully. I'm that movie really like on rewatch last time I watched it before Dominion. Really slow moving, honestly. So there's that. Shout out this. We got 90 folks in here now. Hit that like button, guys. It helps out a lot. And Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get right to your question, comment, concern. If there was ever a couple that would slay a Dr. Pepper sponsorship, I agree. I hope Lilo and Stitch doesn't outperform Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning after first week. Well, unfortunately, it will, and it already has. And it's the movie's already been out yet. Lilo and Stitch is going to be a box office behemoth. Even though I wasn't a big fan of the movie, I gave it like my lowest positive score, which I do that sometimes. I probably am too kind to some of these movies. I think I did the same with Snow White, because only time will tell. Like time heals all wounds, they say, but also you just have to let things marinate. And like 2 months from now, I'm going to feel differently on things that I feel as of right now, you know? And so, I mean, I look back, it was 2 months ago, Snow White came out, and I'm like, yeah, I actually want to rewatch it and see how much worse it is. But anyway, Lilo and Stitch is going to outperform. I think I saw it's going to make around 300 mil potentially worldwide opening weekend. Lilo and Stitch is going to do numbers. We all knew this. Mission Impossible, it's not going to do as big of numbers because it's a harder sell. It's a harder sell for families especially. So Lilo and Stitch was always going to win that battle. Okay. Where are we at? Hello. Do we have a cameo?
The poor boy was dying to see it.
All right.
You didn't hear him crying at the door?
No, I didn't.
He was clawing at it too.
Hey, buddy. Indy wants to be on stream.
He's about to walk across your shoulders.
Look at him. What a lad. What a handsome lad he is.
He's so big.
He's getting so big compared to the first time he was on stream. You camera shy now? Look at him. What a good lad. He's just entranced. His eyes look like yours right now. Oh, he's coming in. Look at him. You want to answer some questions? He just starts answering them. That'd be funny. Anyway, that's the indie cameo, ladies and gentlemen.
He's not leaving yet. He wanted to see you. He's been sitting outside the door this whole time.
I didn't know that, honestly.
I sent you a picture. Look at your phone.
Okay, I will. Have I seen Sinners? I have seen Sinners. I have a quick rating of it on Letterboxd. Benjamin says, I also gave Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning 4.5 stars, and I'm watching it again tomorrow. Very nice. I'm glad to see that other people are liking the movie, because there were a batch of reactions that were a bit more... Oh, there he is in that picture. That's cute. There were some reactions that weren't as positive, and I've seen as more like fans of the franchise, I'll say, have come into the picture and seen it in like general screenings. There have been more positive reactions to the movie.
I'll say this. I see it tomorrow, and I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, this is true. We're going to see it in IMAX, so
Okay, say bye.
thrilled.
Say bye.
Bye, buddy. He's such a goober. But yeah, I'm seeing it again tomorrow in IMAX, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's the indie cameo for the stream. Favorite season of Stranger Things? It depends on the day, but I really am a season 3 guy. I think the summer vibes are unmatched, and that means a lot to me, this summer stuff. And that period of life when that came out, it was special. I feel the same about season 4. I do plan to make another season, a filming location vlog once season 5 drops, especially so that I can visit locations that I haven't been to. That we don't know of yet. That's the point of it, you know? Like, I want to go places in season 5 that we haven't even seen. So, yeah, I think it'll be fun to go do another one, and this time with locations that, again, we don't even know exist. So, yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. We got another super chat here from Miyagi. Do you know who SRK is. Google him. You'll be impressed. Is this some sort of bit? I don't know what this is. Hold on. I have no idea what this is. So, yeah, nothing even came up when I looked that up. I mean, thank you for the super chat, but I got nothing to add to that, unfortunately. Heard rumors they might split Stranger Things into 3 parts. Hope it's not the case. Jillian, I have a video dropping about this today. The cat's out of the bag. I teased it earlier. I have a Stranger Things video dropping. It's fully ready to go. I just got to finish the thumbnail. I was trying to get it up before the stream, but I was like, you know what? If I post a video right when I go live, everyone who wants to join the live might want to watch the video. So it's kind of counterintuitive to do that. So the video is dropping after the stream, and it's about this. I've made a video about it last May about how there were rumors of a 3-part split, and then we saw, Cobra Kai do it with their final season. Well, this time around, is there any validity to it or not? I talk about what the timeline could look like, but I do put an emphasis on the fact this is all rumors. It's all speculation. So the video is not speaking in facts or definitively. It's all rumors and speculation, like I said. So definitely, be on the lookout for that video dropping. Everyone in here, it's coming tonight. But yeah, I think that don't want to spoil the video, but it's not, it ain't dropping all at once. I put money on it. It's not dropping all at once. It's at least the bare minimum is going to be 2 parts. So we just got over 100 people in here right now, guys. Thank you so much. Crushing it with support on stream tonight. Hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Do it real quick. Boom. 100 likes like that. It's awesome. And Super Chat's video to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern, just like this. David with Super Chat says, have you thought of doing live Tidum Stranger Things 5 reaction? I've toyed around with the idea. The thing is, with live streams, like in particular, I'm going to, I don't know when in the stream we're even going to get Stranger Things stuff. And so to go live and then them talk about all these other projects, waiting for Stranger Things, it would be kind of a buzzkill, I feel. But, I'm not opposed to it, but I also want to be fully prepared to give all my attention to Stranger Things. And so we'll see. We'll see. But I'm heavily leaning to maybe like a pre-Tidum stream, right? Like 2 hours before I might do a stream, kind of like the pregame for it. But I don't know. I think I'd be more comfortable just doing coverage offline so that I can be on it more. And say I'm live and boom, the trailer drops. I got to go film a video about it. So I would have to end the stream. That's kind of my mindset with it. So I probably won't be doing anything live for Tidum season 5, Tidum 2025. But I will be covering. I'll be up all night. To be frank, I'll be up all night. I'm going to do a reaction. And the chances of that reaction getting some sort of copyright are high. So I'm going to post another version of it as well on my Patreon for free. And then I will do a breakdown, and then I'll go to sleep. And then the next day I will probably make a big theory video. Yeah, it's going to be a thrill. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope they don't disappoint us, by the way. That would suck. Okay, where was I in a chat? I was somewhere around here. Okay, let's see. What TV shows are you currently watching, and which ones do you plan to watch soon? Great question here from Sniper. Currently, I have a notes tab for this specifically. So let's go to the documentation. Okay, so I am watching The Last of Us Season 2. There's 1 episode left. The Studio, which the finale's out now. I'm watching that probably late tonight or early tomorrow. And I'm technically watching High School Musical, the series. I have 3 episodes left, 2.5, I think, actually, of the whole thing. And then I have 4 episodes of X-Men 97 left. So those are the TV shows I'm currently watching. I basically have to do just cleanup duty on all those shows. I got 1 ep left and half of those, and 2 or 3 episodes in the rest. So I just have to finish that out. Almost dedicate a day, 1 weekend day, to be like, hey, I'm watching 4 episodes of this, 2 episodes of this, an episode of this, and I'm caught up. And once I get through all that, I probably will tackle Andor, which I know is over now, season 2, but I loved season 1. I think it is the best live action Star Wars show, but I've wanted to rewatch it and give it my full attention this new season, fresh off a rewatch. The thing about that is 24 hours of television right there. It's a lot of TV. That's a day's worth of TV. So I just got to find time to watch, an episode or two at night, stretch it out over a couple weeks, and that'll probably be what I do with this newest season of Andor, at least. But what do I plan on watching soon? Sniper asks. Andor. Upcoming shows. I mean, I'll watch Ironheart. I'll watch The Bear. I'll watch, all the upcoming big shows. But what about like older shows? I have that list, and it's 3 shows. It's Dexter. It's Sopranos. It's Peaky Blinders. And I have not started any of them. Those shows are going nowhere, though, and so there's not as much of a rush to get to them, in my opinion. Excuse me. Favorite Joe album? Damn. They're all 3 great, but I have not been able to stop listening to The Crux. And I know it could be recency bias, but I feel like he's really found his sound, dare I say. I'm not a music guy, but you know what I mean. I think that or Decide. 2020 is my least favorite, but it still has bangers. So, yeah, I'd say that. I'd go The Crux, honestly. Gavin! Shout out Gavin. On the Mount Rushmore of best question askers in the history of film stock live streams. Hey, Chris, what director has the more quotable films, Tarantino or PTA? You pose a real great question. There was a point in time in the 90s where these two were, I think it was 95? No, 97 when Boogie Nights came out, right? Was it 97? Because it also was it the same year as Good Will Hunting and Titanic? I have to look this up real quick. Hold on. Boogie Nights. Yeah, 97. So Boogie Nights comes out 3 years after Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, and like people are like PTA. He technically had Hard Eight before that, but people like PTA and Tarantino were like the similar directors, young up and coming guys. And then PTA does Magnolia in 99, right? Or 2000. I think it's 99. Yeah, it might have even been 96, to be honest with you. But Tarantino is my answer here. PTA has made some bangers and, very iconic lines in the history of cinema, like, I drink your milkshake. I, weirdly enough, quote Philip Seymour Hoffman in Punch Drunk Love more than anything, the phone call scene. Like, I'll be with my friends or something. And most of the times I'm quoting PTA or Philip Seymour Hoffman rant scenes. I can't even say the lines. It's like they're filled with cuss words, but there's the phone call scene in Punch Drunk Love. And then there's the scene in, what is it? The Master, which I've had the weird urge to rewatch The Master lately. I watched it 5 years ago for the first time. I think I've matured a lot since then, and I would like it a lot more than I did. But there's also a Philip Seymour Hoffman scene there. If you already know the answers to your questions, then why ask? And the last line. But I say that with my friends just randomly. But Tarantino is the answer. I mean, every movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood alone, I find myself quoting more than most of PTA's movies. So you got Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Django, Bastards, like all those movies. I think Tarantino arguably actually has the most quotable filmography out of any director, even over like a Spielberg or a Nolan, because Tarantino's strong suit is his writing, and it shines. He's got so many iconic lines. I'm going Tarantino, but PTA, he technically has a dog in the fight too. All right, where the hell was I? I was right here. I'm using this as a marker. Favorite character from Succession, Kendall Roy. They're all toxic, bad people, but Kendall Roy is my answer. What happened to the X-Men 97 reactions? They're on hiatus. I got 4 episodes left. I got to pick back up with it. I'll do that at some point, but I am doing I did 3 commentary tracks for Fear Street, so you guys can watch Fear Street with me. I know I had some old people who have done that, but that's been fun. That was fun. That's the most fun I've had with maybe anything on Patreon outside of the Stranger Things commentary, which they're not going anywhere. They're there forever. You guys can go watch every episode of Stranger Things with me and Cam. Like, do it. What's stopping you? Any updates on the PO box? I looked into it, and I think I found the one I want to get. I probably will be doing this in June. I'm not going to guarantee it, but the response was overwhelmingly positive to this, and a lot of people said they would be interested. And I think it'd be a smart thing to do over the summer, especially. So I'm really, really strongly considering it at this point. I looked into it, like the setup process, and I think it'd be a lot cooler this time around, as opposed to when I did it last time, which was 4 years ago. A lot has changed in 4 years on the channel and just in general. So yeah, I really am thinking about it. Really am. So I'll keep you all updated, obviously. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here in the stream tonight. Roberto says, I'm going to meet Giancarlo Esposito in Oklahoma City at GalaxyCon. Hell yeah, he's awesome. I met him one time, and he has this aura about him where, like, you're low-key intimidated when you get near him because he is Gus. He's Gus Fring. Media Maniacs, what's up? Clover, what's up? How you doing? What do I think about Steve and Nancy? I love Stancy. I'd love them to be endgame. Probably won't be the case, but, you know, a boy can dream. Zach says hello. Howdy. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. That is correct, Mark. I've never played it. The only memories I have of this, I was at a family friend's house one time. They had like this big TV in the basement and some gaming systems. I think it was on PlayStation 2. One of like the kids that was a little older than me was playing Kingdom Hearts, but I vaguely remember like, you know, seeing that. And I remember like seeing the cover art in GameStop as a kid. But you know, that's really all I got for you on that topic. Kingdom Hearts. Main Gamer, have you seen any of the castings for the new Hunger Games movie coming out next year? I have. There was one, was it today or yesterday? Elle Fanning is Effie Trinket. Very cool. I have not read the latest book. Apologies if you can hear some beeping in the background. There's like some sort of like moving trolley thing back there. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I've seen the casting. Who else? Jesse Plemons is a young Plutarch. Who else is in there? You got some other decently big names. There's one in particular that I'm missing, but yeah, I've seen the cast. I know there's some speculation online that Kieran Culkin could be playing. There's a train that's about to come, by the way. That always happens, but it's no big deal. Kieran Culkin could be playing Caesar Flickerman, I think. That'd be wild. He could probably fit the personality. We'll see. We shall see. Jello Plays TV, shout out him for being here. Indy has made his cameo. I will be ranking the Fear Street movies, but you gotta wait till later in the week to see my actual ranking. I have not watched the Arrowverse because I couldn't get into it. I tried to, I just couldn't. This was years ago. I threw on like the first episode of The Flash when it was on Netflix, and I was just like, I'm good. What do you use to make thumbnails? Please tell me. I need help with thumbnails. There's this app, and it's a lifesaver. It's the greatest app that I use. It's called BazArt. I'm going to look up the spelling of that, but this is it's BazAArt, and there's like a yearly subscription you can get. I don't know the exact price of it, but it's worth every penny. You can PNG yourself out of pretty much any background, and like any photo you find online, you can hit like remove background and it just does it for you. There's eraser tools to touch up on things. I make all my thumbnails on my phone. I know other people use Photoshop and all that, but I've always been done it on my phone. I just find it a lot easier, and then I airdrop it to my computer or just go into YouTube Studio and upload it that way. But yeah, I love doing as much as I can on my phone. And so BazArt is the move. That's the app I've used for a long time. I used to export the thumbnail and then add text from another app, but that was such a waste of time that I recently just changed the text I use, if I even use text. There are a lot of thumbnails I have that I don't even need to use text, but I just changed it. I was like, this is one of the cool ones, one of the basic fonts here. I'll just use this. And it's actually better. I don't know why I was so stuck in my ways using this other font. So if you've noticed a font change, it's because I like it better and it's easier. I don't have to like export the thumbnail multiple times. Every time I would use that other app to get the text, it would be like, this file is too large. So I'd put it in another app to condense it. It was the dumbest thing ever. And I was so like, I got to do it this way. I'm so happy that I broke from that. That was unhealthy. Anyway, Carla says, hey, Chris, if you could interview any actor or director, who would it be and why? Great question. I think my answer would be the Duffer Brothers, the directors, creators of Stranger Things. They're an inspiration, really. I mean, the way that they created this world, and I would just love to pick their brain for however long I could get with them, you know, to talk to the people, the masterminds behind my favorite show. That would be the dream, honestly. Like, it would be great to talk to other Stranger Things actors as well, but to talk to the creators of the show, it's a creme de la creme, you know, that's as good as it's going to get. So I would love to talk to the Duffer Brothers if I could. That would be my answer. How was Fear Street? The trilogy, I dug. I can't say anything else about the newest movie that I have seen, but reviews coming very soon on the channel. But I dug the trilogy. Let's see. Did I watch the Bear season 4 trailer? I did. And I love season 1 and 2, and I stand by this. After season 2, I said out loud, this is one of the best shows I've seen. And if it continues at this pace, it could go down as an all-time favorite, all-time great. Season 3 was a massive drop-off in quality, undeniably. I think you can ask anyone and they'll agree. It meandered. It didn't progress anything. Nothing. I mean, I hate to say nothing happened, but frankly, nothing happened for 10 episodes. And they hit us with like a to be continued. So that was BS. I worry about this season. I worry about the current state of the Bear, because the Bear is an example of a show that should have and probably it could have and should have been a one-off, a one and done. Season 1 had a perfect ending, and it could have been a little mini-series. Boom, perfect ending. Season 2 gives us some great episodes. One of them is a flashback. One of them is the Richie episode, Forks, cousin. But I can't believe how big of a dip we took in season 3, and I fear for season 4. And then it seems like they're doing this show forever now. Like, I don't know. There's something special about shows that know when to end. And it's such a bummer when you have to look back on a show and be like, yeah, you remember like the first 2 seasons, those were great, and then remember the rest. Like, that's a lot of sitcoms. That's a lot of shows that just go on too long. And it's pretty impressive when a show knows to go out on top and knows when it needs to end. Too many times shows will ruin their reputation or legacy by overextending their stay. And I worry every time, something about the Bear comes up. That's my biggest worry. Dr. Pepper or Diet Dr. Pepper break. Hayden, good to see you in here. Welcome in. How many seasons of Severance do I think there will be, from Jacob? I would say 2 more would do the trick. Maybe even 1 more. I'll say 2 more seasons of Severance. I think that a show like that's only built to go 4 to 5. And frankly, 4. I think 4 will be plenty. Too many shows go past that 4 or 5 number and they kind of just fade away with each passing season. I think that anything past 5 would be pushing it for Severance. You can only do so much with an idea before it gets stale. And I feel like I would end it with 3. I would. Maybe. No, I think they could do it. I think they could. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered, I guess, at the higher up level. So maybe we'll push it to 4, but after 4, you got to chill. Shoot. I'm watching the first Shadow for my birthday. That's a great birthday present right there. I'm jealous of you, Arthur. Leanna says, heading to LA for Tadam. Very nice. Then over to Albuquerque for the Strainings for New Mexico filming locations. They aren't my favorite scenes, but I feel like I need to collect them all. That's fantastic. Yeah, I hope you have a great trip. Yeah, I would love to go out to. I've been to New Mexico a long time ago because I went to the Grand Canyon. There's like four corners or something like that where the 4 states converge, and I was in 4 states at once as a little kid. There's a picture of me hand in one state, foot in one state, foot in one state. But no, that's really cool. Yeah, they filmed what did they film out there? They filmed the Lenora stuff out there, and like the high school in Cali. What else did they film? Isn't there like a Surfer Boy Pizza out there too, and maybe a couple other locations? Very cool stuff. I hope you have a great trip, and in person for Tadum, that'd be wild. I know some people who are actually going out to Tadum, and that's awesome. Very cool stuff. I hope you have fun, and hopefully, at Tadum you can meet some of the cast. I know the main kids are going to be there, so that'd be really cool if you could see them. That was such a good sip of Dr. Pepper, by the way. Okay, what are my thoughts on the mixed reactions of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning? It's a good question, Oliver. So I've seen the movie. I have a review on my channel. I'll start by saying, obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But a lot of the discourse I've seen online is from people talking about how exposition heavy the movie is. And my response to that is, have you seen the Mission Impossible franchise? I say that as politely as possible, but to me, every single movie And the first act hits you with these crazy exposition dumps. They always explain themselves by the end, so it's never like you're lost, but they hit you with this crazy amount of information. Dead Reckoning might have been the worst offender of this, the seventh movie. And so I was not remotely surprised when I went into this movie and there are these long scenes explaining technical, what's the word I'm looking for? Functions of the entity, I guess. It gets a little confusing and out there, but once you embrace the entity for what it is and the fact that something like this could happen in the world we live in with AI, like, it isn't that hard to believe. I was on board. Also, Mission Impossible, you go for the action, you go for the insane stunts, you go for the emotional ride you go on, and that it takes you on, rather. And you know what? This movie handles characters really well. There are some emotional ass moments. So the comments I've seen that I don't understand are, oh, the movie's self-indulgent and it's so self-important and it's acting like it's so about, it's the final reckoning. It's potentially the final movie. Of course, if this is the final film, they want to pay homage to the past films, tie up some loose ends, maybe connect some dots between films to make them feel more important. Retconning is a thing that happens in franchises all the time, so I don't understand those complaints. And a lot of people are just like, oh, it's too long, and I don't get that either. I think that it is 6 minutes longer than the last movie. So I don't know. People think what you want. If everyone go see the movie yourself, form your own opinion. But my response to the mixed reactions is, how many of these people are big fans of Mission Impossible? Like, I mean, I'm very self-aware of if I'm not a fan of a franchise and I don't like it, like, I know people might like this. It's just not my thing. But it just blows my mind, some of the reactions I've seen. People acting like it's some stinker. I saw someone, and I was baffled to read this, say it's cut from the same cloth as The Rise of Skywalker. I was astounded to read that on my Twitter timeline. Yeah, so no, I don't understand the negative reactions. Again, I love the Mission Impossible franchise. I'm very aware of what the franchise is, and every single movie, including Fallout, has these mega info dumps, exposition dumps, higher ups in the government discussing, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Like, yeah, this is also the movie where the stakes are the highest. So none of that bothered me, but apparently it did other people. And that's, again, they're entitled to have that opinion. I don't agree. I don't see where they're coming from, but it seems like this could be a divisive movie. And I'm on the positive side with it, which is rare a lot of times, I guess. So that's my take on the mixed reactions of The Final Reckoning. Jakey Chickenhead. I love the Soldier Boy profile picture. Hey, love your channel. What do you think will be included in the trailer for Stranger Things this month, and are you excited for it? I'm absolutely excited for it, beyond pumped. I believe it'll be, if I had to guess, 1.5 to 1:45. We'll probably get a lot of shots that we saw from the behind-the-scenes teaser, just like HD, in motion, like actual, edited to look like the show. So we'll probably see the kids walking around Hawkins High School, sitting at the lunch table. We'll likely see 11 in the upside down. That'll probably be one of the money shots, where she goes like this. In the behind-the-scenes teaser, we'll probably get that. Maybe see her and Hopper. We'll probably get, a scene of Dustin at Eddie's grave, if I had to guess. I think it should have a voiceover from Vecna at some point, or 11. And I believe it will end with maybe a Vecna reveal or a money shot of the gang in the upside down. So it's not going to be anything crazy. Probably not going to reveal too many plot details. It's going to be like, hey, this is the final season. It's coming out. Get hyped. And it's going to tease the scale and the epicness of it all. So yeah, that's my prediction, but I'm pumped. Okay, Miyagi, thank you for letting me know. That's sick. Yeah. This is calling back to the super chat. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. I didn't know. Had no idea. Do I think Guardians 3 is a top 8 MCU movie? I have a list on my phone. I don't have it public on Letterboxd because I'm too indecisive with my lists sometimes. But let me go look real quick, and I'll tell you right now. I have a private MCU ranking. Yes, I think it is top 8 MCU. It is. Yeah. I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies above it as of today. I think it is top 8 MCU though. Yeah. I have it over Deadpool and Wolverine. That's all you need to know. People are shocked that I love that movie. I love Deadpool and Wolverine, but I think Guardians 3 is better. Guardians 3 is the best of Phase 5 for movies, even over Thunderbolts. Even over Thunderbolts. Okay. Where was I in the chat? I always lose my spot. Ooh, Mohammed says, would love to know your thoughts on the studio. It's one of my favorite shows of the year. Hilariously done and just so insightful. A look into the movie industry from the studio's perspective, but it's also making fun of a lot of the dumb decisions made behind the scenes. It's a smart show. It's really well shot, a lot of long takes, and I love how they incorporate real life actors and directors to make it feel authentic. It's really one of the best shows of the year, in my opinion. My favorite episode might just be Ep 9. I haven't watched the finale either, but I would also say that The Oneer is one of my favorite episodes too. Definitely. Sinners became my favorite movie ever. Well, there you go. There you go. I know a lot of people feel that way too. I don't, but I know a lot of people love it. Predictions for Outer Banks Season 5. JJ will not return at all. At any capacity, we will not see Rudy Pankow return in that role. I think that some bridges have been burned. He's not coming back. I think Sarah Cameron will have her kid by the end of the season, and the final shot will involve all the kids, maybe a little older, maybe a little time jump, and they, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a parallel to the first episode. That's a tough call, but yeah, I think that JJ's not coming back. I know some people have been saying that lately. I don't think he is. Let's see. A little Keep Watch Burn from Jello Plays TV. Keep Watch Burn, War of the Planet of the Apes, Two Towers, Curse of the Black Pearl. Damn good question, man. I'm going to keep the most rewatchable of those three, the one I'm going to go to the most, and that's going to be Curse of the Black Pearl. That movie has my childhood. The movie has my heart. So I'm keeping Curse of the Black Pearl. I got to watch Two Towers because I got to see Battle of Helm's Deep. It's the middle part of one of the greatest trilogies of all time, so I got to experience that. And I guess by default, I'm burning War, which is okay, I guess. That's fine. I think Dawn is the better of the two. I don't know. Dawn and War, it's a close call, but I think I can live with getting rid of that. It would hurt. It would hurt bad, but I think I could live. Giancarlo does have an aura about him. Yeah. Since you finally watched Fear Street, now you got to watch Haunting of Hill House. Yeah, I might get around to that this spooky season. How would I rank the lead characters of the Final Destination movies? Great question. I think Alex is king. All right. Rip Alex. They did him dirty with that brick and off screen. So I go Alex 1, first movie. Honestly, I would probably go Damn Near Mary Elizabeth Winstead from 3 in the second spot. Then I might go with the dude from 5. Then the girl from 6. I don't remember all the names off the top of my head. The last place is the bum from the 4th movie, the dude who cannot act to save his life. And then, is it Kimberly her name? The girl from 2, I think she's in like a Criminal Minds show. She should probably be a little higher. But yeah, that rough ranking right there for you, Nick. A very rough ranking. What do you think is the best Marvel TV show? Sorry, I had to look. I think that's Splash Mountain. That's like my favorite ride from my childhood from Disney. So that took me back. Very, very cool Disney representation right there. Shout out to Disney World. I would say of all time, right? So if we're talking MCU only, that's one thing. But of all time, I'd probably have to say Daredevil or The Punisher. But I dig Loki. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, but I think it's one of those two for me. Did Thunderbolts post-credit scene spoil F4? I won't say what happens, but no, I don't think so. Because there are multiple ways that could happen. There could be someone else involved. I'm being vague intentionally. Yeah, we don't know the context at all, so no, I don't think it spoiled anything. Maya Hawke, that's who it is. She is in this movie. Maya Hawke is in Stars on the Reaping. So yeah, Hunger Games X Stranger Things, right? A little crossover action. Carson with the Keep Watch Burn. If I had to pick, Rise of Skywalker, Madam Web, Jurassic World Dominion. Okay, you got me. All these movies are trash. Can we agree on that at least? I think I'd have to keep The Rise of Skywalker because it is a Star Wars movie that exists and technically has that, the Han scene that's sweet. It's a piece of Star Wars history, right? I guess we have to accept that. So I'd keep that. I'd watch Dominion because I'd want to see how that trilogy ends and maybe have a good laugh. And Madam Web can burn forever. That never needs to be watched again. It's an unwatchable atrocity. So farewell. Farewell. What do I think of the rumors of the 3-part release? I have a video dropping on this immediately after the stream, so be on the lookout for that, and that'll have the answer. I get asked about this every stream. I have not seen From. I don't really even know what From is, to be honest. No clue. By the way, we still got about 82 people hanging out in here, so hit that like button, helps out a lot. If you're on the replay, which I know a lot of you are, hit the like button as well. And Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern. Anything goes a very long way. Pops up on my screen immediately, and I won't be able to get to all these questions, but that's a way to just get right to your question, and it helps support me and the channel directly. Mr. J Movie with a great question here. What is your most anticipated movie of the year now that Mission Impossible is out? So for those who didn't know, Final Reckoning was my most anticipated movie of 2025. Now that I've seen it, what occupies that most anticipated slot? Well, I made a video ranking my most anticipated movies of the year that I don't remember. I don't remember what else was on that list. Thunderbolts was probably on there. I've seen that. I'm just going to look real quick and just give you an honest answer right now. Updated honest answer. My watch list on IMDb is going to be my friend here. I'll tell you right now. Okay. 2 movies come to mind. One of those is Wicked for Good, which we got a little tease for today. Can't wait to see the trailer. The other would probably have to be, I think it's got to be Fantastic Four. I'm an MCU shill, I know. Actually, sorry, F1 or Fantastic Four. Those 3. So it's F1, F4, for good. There you go. Triple Fs. When do I think part 1 is releasing? I'm going to buy into this October hype. Everyone's like, October. I'm bought in. October of this year is my prediction because everyone's saying October. Might as well be October, right? Why not? Ben says it would be cool if we saw some of the old villains from all films as a cameo in Doomsday. Well, hell, I mean, they're getting all the heroes. They could definitely get some villains. Like, imagine if we saw Doctor Doom, the Doom from the 2000s Fantastic Four movie, or we got some of those other X-Men villains because Magneto's in the picture. So I'd say this is definitely on the table. If we're getting other villains, though, you got to get Michael Fassbender's Magneto back. He's my favorite version of that character. Okay, let's see. Quick rank Mission Impossible movies. I can't do it because I got a ranking coming out. I don't want to spoil it, but I will be able to do this next time I stream. Because my video will be out. I've never watched Lock and Key, Neutral asks. Apparently someone loves it. Sonny Plays loves it. The Boys Season 5 predictions. There's no way that Homelander lives. There's no way that Butcher lives. I think they're on a collision course that results in death. If either of them live, I will be stunned. I also think I saw Eric Kripke say that, like, there's going to be a lot of deaths. I wouldn't be surprised if most of the characters die. I think Huey needs to live. I think Why did I just blank on her name? I literally just, my brain just exploded. What the hell? Starlight. My brain just blew up. I don't know what happened. I think they're going to live. Annie January, Starlight, yeah. My brain just completely, I had a short circuit. Yeah, I think that they're going to live, but everyone else, they might not be safe. What is an acting Oscar win that you don't agree with? Freddie Mercury for Bohemian Rhapsody. He lip synced the entire thing. He looked the part, but that's really it. It should have gone to Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born. It also could have gone to Bale for Vice, a movie that I don't even care for. But that is maybe one of the most disgraceful Oscar wins, in my opinion, of all time. So many other actors have done the work to actually even learn to sing and not win. I'm looking at Andrew Garfield and Tick, Tick, Boom. I'm looking at Bradley Cooper, who was nominated that same year and should have won. I'm also looking at Taron Egerton, who played Elton John in Rocket Man. All of those performances are better and more Oscar worthy than Freddie Mercury, than Rami Malek, who played Freddie Mercury, which I realize now I might have misspoke earlier, but that's what I meant. Rami Malek who plays Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a complete disgrace, in my opinion. Nothing against Rami Malek, but that's disgraceful. Favorite scene in Stranger Things has got to be the Max running up that hill scene from the Dear Billy episode. It's like I said in a video where I did sort of a battle, right? A tournament style Stranger Things thing for Stranger Things Madness, I called it. That is the epitome of Stranger Things. When I think of the show, and if I were to sell someone on Stranger Things, that would be the moment I show them. So that's my answer. I've never seen The Chosen. Gen V season 2 trailer comes out on May 31st too. I had no idea. Showrunner said on his Insta it's happening at Prime Video panel. Oh shoot! Would you look at that? Yeah, hopefully there's a release date for that as well. Hopefully it comes out this fall. We're getting fed with TV shows because Fallout season 2 is coming out this year. I had no idea. So a lot of like coming into the year, we had no clue that was going to come out this year, but they're on it. So kudos to them. Kudos to Prime. Can someone explain Tudum to me? I'm sorry. So Tudum is essentially a event for Netflix. It's a live event where fans can attend. And the purpose of Tudum is to promote upcoming movies, shows, and Netflix things in general. For example, if they're going to be live streaming sporting events or having some sort of, big streaming show, whatever the hell, right? That's coming to like a concert live on Netflix, something like that. They're promoting all that. So they're going to have a bunch of stars, directors, cast from shows and movies attend. And they're going to basically go through all these different shows and showcase them, right? So you'll have Squid Game news, Wednesday news, Stranger Things will have its time to shine. Even certain movies that are coming out are going to have their time to shine. Think D23, think Marvel's panel at San Diego Comic-Con where they go through, it's organized, and they go show by show or movie by movie. They present, they get everyone excited, and then they move on to the next show. That's what Tudum is. They've done it in the past. It's been underwhelming before, so hopefully this one's their best yet. But Tudum is basically, think like a Comic-Con event that's sole purpose is to promote upcoming Netflix projects. John with a super chat. Shout out, John. Thank you. I like the Metallica PFP. I know I'm late to Spider-Man hot takes, but in my opinion, the 90s Spider-Man cartoon is better than all live action movies, but that's just me. I'd say that's definitely a hot take. I've seen clips of the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. I think even growing up, I saw some episodes here and there, but it's been so long that feels like a lifetime ago. And so I don't really have a valid response to that specifically. But regarding the live action take, I mean, to me, No Way Home is like one of the best Spider-Man things you've ever seen. It's like I said, after it came out, it's like the epitome of Spider-Man. You get all three live action Spideys together. But then you got the Raimi trilogy, shout out. Spider-Man 1 and 2, both bangers. There are elements of Chasm 1 and 2 that I love. Even Homecoming. I feel like there's something about live action Spider-Man that makes it more personal, makes it a little bit, at least for me, I speak for myself, there can be like a bit of a barrier with animation. Whereas with live action, I can buy in and see myself, represented more because it's an actual human being as opposed to an animated character. But that is a hot take, I definitely think. But you know what? Own it. And that's totally cool. If you feel that way, hell yeah. I don't know what the consensus on the 90s Spider-Man cartoon really is, so I can't respond to that part specifically. But no, honestly, if you love that, you love that. And that's awesome for you. So very cool stuff. Spider-Man hot takes, that there's a lot of them out there. And I feel like there are definitely ones that are hotter than this. I've seen people say that, what are some of the craziest ones? I think I've seen every single Spider-Man movie called someone's favorite online before. So people have been like, yeah, Far From Home is the best, and it's my favorite. TASM 2 is my favorite. Spider-Man 3 is my favorite. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, every Spider-Man movie has probably been called the best or, someone's favorite online. Those are all hot takes, right? I mean, everyone has their opinions, so. But no, they give you the super chat. Great little question. Okay, it's been an hour in the blink of an eye. These things fly by. They fly by. What can I say? I have yet to see Dark on Netflix, but I know of it, and I have heard about it for years. I just never got around to it. All right. All right, looking for some questions here. I've never seen It Follows, but I'm familiar with it. Stancy or Jancy? I'm always Team Stancy, to be honest with you. Elijah says, hey, Chris, have you seen The Office? I have. I watched it all in the summer of 2015, I want to say. I watched the whole thing. So yeah, I've seen The Office. It's a great sitcom that certainly went on too long, but the Michael Scott seasons are special. Thoughts on Zootopia 2 trailer? I watched it, but again, I haven't seen Zootopia, so I'm kind of out of the loop. But I remember the Zootopia teaser being irritating. It had dealt with like the DMV and like a sloth working there. I always hated that when I was younger. But this teaser, it feels like not like a trailer. It's kind of like how Pixar will put out something for Toy Story like years in advance. It'll be like a logo forming and like the characters running around. That's what it felt like to me. Yeah, it didn't really even feel like a trailer, if that makes sense. What's good? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. I've never seen Love, Death, and Robots. I'm aware of what it is. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Unpopular opinion. I gave Final Destination 1 and 2, Halloween 2, Die Hard 2, and Fire in the Sky all a 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Wow. I mean, yeah, that's certainly an unpopular opinion about, I think, all those movies. I quite like Die Hard 2. It's basically the first movie in an airport. I haven't seen Fire in the Sky, nor have I seen Halloween 2. Final Destination 1 and 2, 5 out of 5, that's high. First one, I give about a 3.5. But yeah, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Own it and embrace it. But that is definitely unpopular. What's my favorite Marvel movie since Endgame? Well, let's check. Let's check the ranking here. I think it's Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, it's Spider-Man No Way Home for me. Special movie, and I will never turn on it. It's Spider-Man No Way Home. And then I would say probably Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine. I would put Thunderbolts probably near there, Shang-Chi. Like, yeah, I'd say No Way Home. Let's see. Hey, Chris, do you think Thunderbolts or New Avengers is top 15 MCU? For me, it is. Initially, I don't think I had it in the top 15, but I've seen it 2 more times since initial viewing, so 3 times total. And it might actually have slipped in there now. I'd have to go look at the ranking and tell you for sure, but I still don't know if it's top 15. I think it's like, it is top 20, but there are so many MCU movies that are great. Like so many that I mean, the top 11 MCU movies, top 12 MCU movies, I'll just run them down. Ready? This is in no order. I'm actually going to intentionally randomize these so you don't know my ranking order. These are my top 12 in no order, okay? Spider-Man Homecoming, The Avengers, Infinity War Endgame, Deadpool and Wolverine, Iron Man, Civil War, No Way Home, Guardians 1, Guardians 3, Winter Soldier. And I think Guardians 2, if I hadn't said that. So the Guardians trilogy is all in the top 12. Yeah, those are 12 movies that Thunderbolt's not better than. Then we get into like the Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Ragnarok, Age of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Far From Home, First Avenger, Black Panther. It fits in with that group more. But the highest I could have it is probably 13, if I had to be honest with you. So it could crack the top 15. It could. Just depends. Depends on the day. But no, good question here, man. Good question. Okay. Severance season 1 up 9 or season 2 up 10? I'm going to go to IMDb for reference real quick. I think these are the season finales, though. Severance. Yeah, season 1 up 9 is the season 1 finale. Season 2 up 10 is the season. So Cold Harbor versus I think I actually, by a hair, might prefer the season 1 finale. Season 1 up 9. Just the ending, the big, the final moments of revelation. Like, I think I might prefer that. Plus, it's like from the jump, nonstop, we're going. So I think I lean that. But both episodes are really, really good. And honestly, season 2 up 4, I think it is, should be in the conversation as well for maybe the best of the show. Woes Hollow. Food for thought, but no, great question. A little Severance action. Movie Fan 2002 with a super chat. Chris, why do you think Sean Chandler hasn't reviewed The Final Reckoning yet? Why don't I DM him? I'll ask him right now. Sending him a picture of this. Let's see if he responds. That'd be funny if we got a Sean Chandler response. My guess would be because he hasn't seen the movie yet. Let me go to my DMs real quick. Sean. I'm going to send him a picture right now. Question for you. send. I just DM'd him. We'll see if he responds. Yeah, my assumption would be because he hasn't seen it yet. But you never know. I think I saw on Twitter he's going around to try and meet Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is like in Texas or something. But no, that's funny. I would say that's why. I wonder what Sean's going to think. I wonder what a lot of people are going to think because I haven't seen a ton of mutuals review the movie. But yeah, I would say he just hasn't seen it yet. That's my honest to God answer. I think he is going soon. I saw on Twitter. So I'll be curious to see what he thinks, as well as a lot of other of my friends that are seeing the movie soon. Already answered this one. Let's see. What are your Stranger Things 5 ending predictions? I think we got to end in a happy spot. So I think we're going to get some sort of montage through like a high school graduation. It's going to pull right on the heartstrings. And I love this theory, right? I made a video where I had a vision that I think that, they're going to play Heroes, the version by Peter Gabriel. But someone was like, we heard that in season 1 and 3. So this time around, we're actually going to hear the David Bowie version. And I was like, come on now. That was kind of sick. So if we hear that play at the end, I think I'll be a happy man. Okay, I was somewhere. There I was. You should watch Adolescence. Not my personal favorite show of the year, but it's the one that I can see sweeping the next Emmys. I haven't watched this yet, but my mom actually watched Adolescence. She texted me about it. I haven't seen this, and I've heard good things. I heard it's also done. It's 4 episodes, right? It's a miniseries. I really don't know what it's about. I think it's some sort of crime drama, but even then, I don't know much. Chris is like, I'm watching Bring Her Back soon. You'd be happy and accept it. No, yeah, I'm going to go see Bring Her Back. My buddy Jacob Starcourt has sold me on seeing this movie. So if I don't like it, it's his fault, and I'm going to put him on blast. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to see this movie, and I got to be a part of this conversation because I've seen some divisiveness online. I watched Talk to Me in theaters. I manned up and did it. I was very hesitant. You guys know me, my backstory with horror. I was a big baby about it for my whole life. Didn't want to watch any of the demonic horror stuff. And I finally got over that fear, got over the hump. But yeah, I will be seeing this movie probably at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's not a night, so it won't be dark when I get out, right? But I'll be alone. I'm going to see the movie alone. So that'll be a little scary. Hopefully there's some others in the theater. Oh, where was I? There I am. Do I think Final Destination Bloodlines getting a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes is insane? Somewhat. And even, somewhat. That means that 9.3 out of 10 critics recommend the movie or gave it a positive review. I saw a whole Twitter thread about this and about how critics have changed over the past 20 years. Like when Final Destination 1 came out, the batch of critics, had a completely different mindset. They were a lot harsher on horror, and now everyone who grew up watching Final Destination, they're critics, and so they're more accepting of it, and they dig it, and that's their jam. And I get that, but even then, I do think that score is high, especially if you're viewing it as a Final Destination film. I don't think it's the best, but I do think that we might be in an era where we're going to start to return to seeing, in my opinion, some inflated Rotten Tomato scores where a lot more people are recommending it than I think than it warrants. That's just my opinion. But I just want to get away from this Rotten Tomatoes thing. The world lives and dies by a tomato meter, and it's sad. And that little tomato holds so much power. I think Final Reckoning is at a 79 now, and people will probably see that and they're like, the movie stinks. It's a C. People who don't understand it, and so yeah, it frustrates me greatly. I was talking about this with my friend on the phone. Superman, there's so much writing on a tomato meter. Isn't that crazy? 10 years ago, it didn't even have that much weight. 20 years ago, no one really cared. Now, you live and die by the tomato, baby. I actually never saw Napoleon because I heard from people I trust that it's a drag. And so I just said, you know what? It was a busy time of year. I think it was right around Thanksgiving. There were other things I wanted to watch. And so I prioritized those, and I just never got around to it. Haven't seen The Idol, and you know what? I never will. Never will. I know what it is. It's the HBO show with The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp, I believe her name is, but I have not watched it. I've seen clips from it. I'm like, this looks unwatchable. Gibson H Reviews with the super chat says, watch the movie Jafai Khan, best picture contender. I'm looking this up to see if this is what this is. What is this? Oh, is it spelled with a J? I can't tell if I'm being clowned or not right now because I looked it up and this came up. Yeah, I have no clue what this is. Best picture contender. Interesting. I don't take Rotten Tomatoes seriously, Movie Fan 2002 says. I think there's definitely some value to it, but its importance has become so inflated over the years. It's just a number. Growing up, especially, I know I was younger and I was a kid, but like things like that didn't matter. I just went and watched a movie. I was like, I either liked it or I didn't. But now I think Rotten Tomatoes and the problem I have with it is it gives so many people this preconceived notion about a movie before they go and see it, right? Because early reviews drop, Rotten Tomato scores out there, and people make up their minds when they see a tomato. That's insane, right? That's insane. I mean, a movie has a 67 on Rotten Tomatoes, right? And it's the movie you've been so excited for all year. Let's say it's Thunderbolts, has a 67. Oh man, I can't go see that anymore. Can't be excited for that anymore. Because what? A group of people who go review movies early feel a certain way about it? That's, of all the people that are going to see Thunderbolts in the world, 200, maybe 300 people, or what percentage of the total population they're going to go see this movie and have an opinion on it? That's my thing. Sometimes people got to take a step back and realize this is just one person's opinion on a movie. So that's kind of how I feel about Rotten Tomatoes. Where was I in the chat though? I was somewhere. They fly now. Horrible line. Horrible movie. Okay. Where was I? I was right here. I'm clicking this so that I know where I am. I already answered that one. I answered that one. Any favorite Australian actors and actresses? The only Australian that comes to mind is Chris Hemsworth. I know there are plenty others, but is Hugh Jackman also Australian? Maybe one of them too. I go Hugh Jackman if he's actually Australian. I could be making that up. No, he definitely is. He definitely is Australian. Because of the Deadpool Wolverine line where he's like, he's got a nice pair of smooth criminals down under. Keep Watch Burn TV show edition. You, X-Men 97, Cobra Kai. I'm keeping Cobra Kai. I think it's the most rewatchable of those three programs. I think it's the one that means the most to me. And it's the most enjoyable and the best. I would then... I mean, I want to experience you, so I think I'd watch you. I guess I'd have to burn X-Men 97. I've only seen 6 episodes of X-Men 97, so I feel like that's safe to do. But yeah, that'd be my answer, unfortunately. Yes, I did rewatch Thunderbolts. My rating is a 4 out of 5. I've seen it 3 times in total. I quite enjoy the movie. And my issues have they've gone away more and more. The more I've thought about it, the more I've seen it. It's a very fun Marvel movie that has some badass moments straight up. Okay. Ranking of Scream movies, please, someone says. I would say I have a video on this, but I'll tell you right now. Off the top of my head, the OG is the best. It will always be the best. You can't top that. That's a movie that I try and prioritize every single Halloween. Like, it's a movie that I want to watch every single year, okay? So I'd go Scream 1. I'm a fan of the new films, 5 and 6. And I know that there's a ton of divisiveness in the Scream fandom right now. But to me, I'm going Scream... I think I lean 6. So I go 1, 6, 5. 4 and 2 are like right there, and then 3 I think is the clear weak link. 3 is like Scream 3 is kind of like the Final Destination 4, or excuse me, just the Final Destination for the Final Destination franchise, except it's not as offensively bad. Let's see. Are you excited for Ginny and Georgia season 3. I've never seen Ginny and Georgia. Never seen it. So I don't have an answer to this because I haven't seen it. Now, I know of the show, the guy who cuts my hair. We talk about movies and TV shows. And he brought this up one time, Ginny and Georgia. I was like, I haven't seen that, but I think I've heard of it. So no opinion. Probably won't check it out. There's so many other shows in June that I'm prioritizing. And movies in general. Like movie season, we're in it. We're in it, baby. Okay. I was somewhere looking for a good question here. Am I going to have a reaction to each episode? Yes, I plan to. And I'll have like a full watch along on Patreon as well. Ian in the chat, shout out Ian. Am I going to, or excuse me, most anticipated movie for the rest of the year? I would say, I just answered this, but I'm going to have to pick one. I don't want to dance around it anymore. I got to pick one. We'll go with, I think we go Wicked for good, guys. We got to go with it. Wicked was in retrospect, it was my favorite movie last year. So I got to go Wicked for good. I'm a musical guy at heart. I got to embrace it. I'd say F1's right there with it. And then Fantastic Four. Ian, hope you're doing well. Good to see you in here, man. Okay. I'm doing good, Haley. Good to see you in here. I think 11 could die. I do too. Definitely could. Definitely could. What if Steve dies in the finale of Stranger Things and they play one of Joe's songs during the final scene? It would be, I mean, that won't happen. I think they stick mostly to the 80s tunes. But that would be something. I mean, it would be really cool to hear Joe's music. Again, I don't think that it would work because it's not 80s. But you know, they could maybe pull it off. It'd be wild though, just to hear Joe in Stranger Things. No, that'd be crazy. So let's see. Diet Dr. Pepper. Do you think the new F1 movie will be good, but flop at the box office? It's an interesting question because I do think the movie is going to be good. Joseph Kosinski, who directed Top Gun Maverick's directing. And honestly, I am very excited for the film. I think that it's going to be super well shot. I think it's going to be like the dad movie of the year. Okay. So that's a compliment to it. It's the Ford v Ferrari of this year in many ways. Do I think it will flop? What's the budget on that bad boy? That's going to dictate my answer. Let's look up the F1 budget. F1 movie budget. Probably fat, right? Was it like 300 mil or something crazy? F1 movie oh dear God. Yeah. Oh, it's flopping. But the thing is, it could still make, it's not even going to, it had a $300 million budget. Wow. One of the most expensive films ever made. There's a 0% chance it makes its money back. It's going to flop. Now, I think it could still make 300 million, but it needs to make a lot more than that, a hell of a lot more than that to break even and make profits. So, unfortunately, it's going to underperform. Like that. That's just, it's unfortunate. But anyway, hold on. Where was I? I got to go back and answer this because Sean just hit me back. That's funny. He said, my old man eyes weren't able to read that quick enough. I tried to read it, but Instagram doesn't let you do that. I saw my name in Mission Impossible. I'll send him a thing. I said, someone in my stream asked why Sean hasn't reviewed MI8 yet. I said, probably because he hasn't seen the movie. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway. That's too good. But no, that F1, man, I really am rooting for F1. I'll be bummed if it bombs, but it's going to. Just with that budget, even Mission Impossible, guys, movie that I really like. It's my favorite movie of the year right now. It's gonna bomb because it had, I believe, I think it was almost a $400 million budget. That's insane. That's insane, right? It's insane. I'm living and dying by it. All hail the tomato. You already know. Oh man, good old Rotten Tomatoes, baby. Yeah, again, I really hope it doesn't flop, but that budget's gonna be really damn hard to it's gonna be hard to overcome. Best picture for this year for me so far is either Sinners or Companion. I guess I would say it's Naja 2 or Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And I've seen, I think, coming up on 20 movies this year, so I'm behind. I know a lot of people have seen like in the 30s or 40s, but for me, I'm making pretty good pace for the year. No, but I'd say, yeah, if we're going best picture for me, I think the best movie I've seen is Naja 2 or Final Reckoning. What do I think is better, Napoleon Dynamite or Big Daddy with Adam Sandler? Well, I have some disappointing news. I have not seen Big Daddy. I know the cat's out of the bag. I haven't seen a lot of those classic Sandler comedies from the 90s, but oh, my leg might start cramping in a second. Ooh, please don't cramp. But no, I would say, yeah, Napoleon Dynamite is the better movie. It's quoted more, and I think it's a bit more iconic too. I'll say it. The dance scene alone, and just I had a neighbor, someone who lived in the neighborhood growing up, who would always quote that movie, and he would say it was so like goofy to me. He would always he would laugh hysterically when he said it too. This was in middle school, and he would he'd just be walking home from school, and someone would bring up movies, and he like would always quote this one line. I'd be like, "What is this? What is this?" Like I hadn't seen the movie. I was like, "What is he doing?" And he would go, "Your mom goes to college." He would just like die laughing, and I never understood it until I watched Napoleon Dynamite. Oh man, what a time! Gavin with another banger question, and frankly, just a banger person in general. But Gavin says, do you prefer Jordan Peele as a comedy actor or a horror director? Well, let's see. Jordan Peele's made 3 horror films, and I think they've gotten worse. I think Get Out is the best movie he's ever going to make. Won him an Oscar for screenplay. It's a 10 out of 10 movie, pretty much, right? I mean, it's up there. Us, very original horror concept. I'd say the scariest movie he's made. Very deeply unsettling on many levels, and there are so many reveals and like layers to the film that it just makes me feel gross watching that movie. I've seen it once in theaters. Then you've got Nope, which I saw one time. I was sick. Disclaimer: I was ill when I saw the movie. Probably shouldn't have gone to the theater to see it, but I did anyway, and I wasn't particularly crazy about it. It was the least scary of his 3 films, in my opinion. I would say when it comes to, I just heard a noise. What was that? That was disturbing. Anyway, yeah, when it comes to Jordan Peele, I think I go horror director because he does have an eye for horror, and he's shown that. Just because I don't think that he's made as good of a movie to Get Out doesn't mean that he's some bum. But he is pretty damn funny in the Key and Peele comedy sketches. Only thing is, he has more of a body of work, in my opinion, as a horror director, because I have only seen him in the Key and Peele sketches. I can't think of anything else he's in comedically. Whereas with Keegan-Michael Key, he's in a lot of comedy movies. The other duo of Key and Peele, right? So I would say horror director, but he's maybe as a comedy writer, he could be better because he definitely wrote. I mean, he wrote most of those sketches with Keegan-Michael Key. So I'd say horror director, but it's not in a landslide. But I would still say horror director. Good question though. All right, let's see. Okay, I was somewhere in the damn chat, and I always lose my spot. You guys know me. I excel at losing my spot. There I am. Where does Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning place in your my ranking? It's second right below Fallout, my personal ranking. Again, I'm not going to reveal that, but I'll tell you 2 things about my ranking. The worst movie is Mission Impossible 2. And you can infer what the best is. I've kind of hinted at it in the stream. That's all I'll tell you, though. So you got to wait. Oh, shoot. This is a wild thing to hear in my stream. If you like college football, you should definitely watch Josh Pate's college football show. It's great. Wild to hear this because I have watched Josh Pate many times in my life. And it's weird that this comes up on that's like something that I listen to mainly in like September, October. Because Josh Pate, I like Josh Payne. I think he has the formula down for covering college football, but some of his takes just make my blood boil. And the way that he talks about my team sometimes as well infuriates me deeply, very much so. And so I have like a love-hate relationship with Josh Pate. When I get the college football bug, I'm going to watch a Josh Pate video, and I'll watch his prediction videos and be like, that's completely wrong. He's an idiot. But also, it's a love-hate thing with most of the college football shows that I watch. Yeah, so but I've heard of that. That's crazy that comes up in my live stream. What are the odds? Did I like the ending of You? Honestly, yes, I did. What are your thoughts on Baby Driver? B-A-B-Y Baby. Saw this in theaters with Cam way back in the day. In the summer, it was a hot summer morning. I went like 10 or 9 a.m. real early, brought Chick-fil-A into the theater. I wore a hoodie and I put a chicken biscuits in my hood for some reason. I could have just probably walked in with them. They don't care that much, but that was my method for some reason. So there's that. But yeah. Random. Baby Driver's a great film. It's my favorite Edgar Wright. I've only seen Last Night in Soho once, and I gave it like 5 stars for some reason. That was dumb, I think, but I got to watch that movie again. It's been almost 4 years. Landon says, what are your top 3 Pixar character duos? Would love to see a video ranking over this. I actually have one on my Patreon, I think, from years ago. But the top 3 are going to be Woody and Buzz. They're going to be Mike and Sully. And that third slot could go to many different people, but I think I'm going to go a little out of left field with it. And I'm going to go a little, and by I mean a little, I mean a lot. I'm going to go Linguini and Remy. Yeah, I did that. Anyone can cook, baby. Shang-Chi or Homecoming? Homecoming. I love the quick hitters like that. Great question, though, Mateus. Like, I love the ones that I can just boom. Boom. Yeah, to answer everyone's question, Sean has said, we're in the theater to watch it now. That's funny. Yeah, so he's seeing the movie tonight, to answer your question. This question from last stream got me good. I just don't even understand. It just made me laugh really hard last time I was in the stream. Okay. Hi, people are saying Stranger Things released in 3 parts. Martina, I have a video you got to watch. It's going to drop after the stream about this to give you my full 2 cents on it. Dr. Pepper on top. This can's empty. I drank the whole thing. What are my thoughts on the It movies and how do I feel about Welcome to Derry? I have not seen the Welcome to Derry teaser. I'm kind of just avoiding it at this point intentionally because there's no need to. We're going water, by the way. But the first movie is really like the first movie from 2017 is a really good horror movie. The second one's trash, and then the third or the show, why not? I thought it was going to come out like a year or 2 ago, but here we are. Oh shoot, this is so cool. Thanks for making me discover Mission Impossible from your videos. I'm watching them all for the first time and watching them every night. That's so cool. I love hearing stories like that. To me, I've known about Mission Impossible since I was like 6. I knew all about these movies. My dad watched them. I watched them. I grew up loving the franchise. Saw Ghost Protocol onward in theaters. But that's so cool. Yeah, I'm glad that I could introduce it to you. I mean, I figured most people know what that is, but for me to have introduced that to you, very cool. I hope you enjoy Philip Seymour Hoffman, Owen Davian in the third film. Where's the Rabbit's Foot? You don't think I'll do it? 9. He's so good in that movie. Keep Watch Burn from Carson, always bringing the heat. Mission Impossible, John Wick, Bourne. I'm keeping Mission Impossible really pretty comfortably for me. I think it's the best action franchise, pure action movie franchise of all time. No exaggeration. Then between those 2, I mean, I grew up on the Bourne trilogy like a lot. I watched the hell out of it. But then like the last 2 kind of mid. And I don't like to say mid often, but they are mid. So I would go John Wick and then I guess burn Jason Bourne. Which, I mean, young me would be like, what are you doing? But that's just the way it is. John Wick 4 carries a lot. What did I miss? Simbo asks. A lot of discussions about Stranger Things. Keep Watch Burns. Just good vibes all around, really. Hell is frozen over when a horror movie wins Best Picture. Probably correct, unfortunately. It's going to take a long time to get there. What are my thoughts on Fear Street Prom Queen? Gotta wait for my review. I can't say anything yet. I wish I could, though. Let's see. We've been an hour and a half. We still have questions here. So fire off your questions, super chat anything in. If we get one more super chat, that makes a nice round 10. Who wants to send in a super chat? Make it 10 super chats for the stream. Who wants to do it? No pressure. Big Daddy's a banger. One of my favorites from Sandler. Very nice. I have a lot of Sandler homework to do. Caden says, I love horror movies. There you go. There you go. I'm kind of on a horror kick right now myself. Joshua says, who do I think will die in season 5? I have a gut feeling 11 is going to bite the dust, unfortunately. Bobo says, or Cynthia Bobo says, what are your expectations for the Stranger Things 5 teaser? I went on about this earlier. I think it'll be about an hour and a half, or not an hour and a half. That'd be a whole episode. A minute and a half to a minute 45. Some good voiceover work in there. Get us excited. Some shots of, the upside down, the Vecna reveal. Basically just a re-edited version of the behind the scenes teaser. But instead of seeing, shots being filmed, we're getting to see what the shots are going to look like in the show. Okay. Murray or Galactus? Sorry. Murray the Bald Eagle Bowman or Galactus from Fantastic Four? I'm taking the Bald Eagle Bowman. Fate of the universe on the line. I'm taking him. That's an absurd question. I watched Bree finally and I was traumatized not by the kills, but what Kurt was saying. Like, not my Steve. Yeah, that's a wild performance from him and just a wild movie, really. Do I like/watch the Escape Pod? Yeah, I like them both. They're very cool dudes. I've had the opportunity to hang out with them in person a couple times now. Went out to LA in July. It was on their show. Hung out with them a bunch that week. The last MegaCon I went to, hung out with them a bunch. Went to Orlando, Universal in Orlando. Very cool people. Cam also talks to them frequently. Do I agree with all of their takes? No, but that would not make the world a fun place. So. Yeah, they're cool dudes for sure. And I hope to be on the show again one day if I find myself in LA, because we had a lot of fun on that episode we did with them in July. Okay. Yes, I've watched Loki. I have a review of both seasons on the channel. Crazy to say how long I've been in the game now, but I'm getting old. Yeah, I've seen both. I like them both. It's one of the best MCU Disney Plus shows. I have seen Teen Wolf. I love me some Teen Wolf. I eat it up. I cried watching Teen Wolf the first time. Season 3, I believe it's the penultimate episode. My favorite character died, and it ripped my heart out. I just started crying. I was like, what? No. They did that, and then I just started crying. Yeah, Teen Wolf, it does fall off at a certain point, but it kind of picks back up in a later season. So Teen Wolf's an interesting show, for sure. Apologies for the train, by the way. Do I think the violence in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the most violent in the series, and is it too intense for younger viewers? Apologies for the train. It's about to quiet down, so give it a second. But I would say violent. I gotta think real quick. I can't think of any crazy over-the-top violence that's too intense. I'm trying to think real quick. There's probably a typical amount of violence. There wasn't anything that stood out to me too much, but how old are you? I guess I watched. I don't think it's any more intense than Ghost Protocol, unless I'm forgetting something, which I very well could be. There's gunshots and people get shot in the movie, but it's not it's PG-13, so I think you'd be fine. Am I gonna stream for them or just gonna post reaction? Probably just gonna do Stranger Things coverage after the fact. So I don't think I'm going to stream, but a lot of people have brought that up about a potential stream, so maybe I will. What are my opinion on the Oceans movies? Trilogy is a banger. I love the first especially. Yeah. The writer says Guardians 3 or Thunderbolts. It's going to be Guardians 3. Hell of a Summer's on my 2025 movies to catch up on list, so I will get to it by the end of the year. Do I like the Batman or Dark Knight better? I think the Batman is the better pure detective Batman film. The Dark Knight, it's probably more rewatchable. I'll say it. If that makes any sense. I'm cheating. Yes, I cried. I genuinely cried watching it. It hurt my heart. Indy's good. Indy made a cameo earlier. Feel free to rewind to go see Indy Boy. Am I surprised about the Mission Impossible 8 mixed reviews? Somewhat, but I'm never surprised when certain critics are negative on things. So honestly, no, not really. I know how I feel about the movie, and that's all that matters. because that's how anyone should approach movies. Just go see it for yourself, you know? Apologies for the loud background noise, by the way. It'll be gone in a second. By the way, 7:37 out here. The sun is shining bright through the window. It is it's a sunny day, and it's like the time of year where it's going to be light till like 9 o'clock at night, which I'm kind of here for. Murray or Anakin? I'm riding with the bald eagle Bauman, baby. Give me Murray. Give me Murray. Let's see. MCU or DC? MCU. It's just sustained itself for a lot longer. It was more impactful in my life. MCU. I don't think we're going to do Mission Impossible 9 or 10 for a hot minute, if at all. Most underrated movie of 2025 so far. Underrated. So, underrated. Let me go look. Underrated. I'd probably say, I don't know, Najah 2, even though it's a mostly loved movie. Najah 2 is Najah 2. Mike, I've been good, man. How about yourself? Good to see you in here. I've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, quite like it. Seen it many times in my life. Pre-Letterboxd, though. I think I actually watched it once when I had Letterboxd, technically. Let's see. I have seen Invincible all 3 seasons. I had a hot take on season 3. I didn't love it like everyone else. Season 1 is the best season to me still. Prediction for Stranger Things 5 main song. Ooh. Damn good question. You know, when I was watching the behind-the-scenes doc on the first Shadow, they played Sweet Dreams Are Made of These, whatever the hell that song says. And the song from X-Men Apocalypse, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, I accidentally started playing a song. Yeah, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. That song remixed could be cool, but I also feel like it's used a lot. It may or may not be in an upcoming movie that I've seen. Dare I say? Well, who knows? Who's to say? All right. Invincible season 1 or Loki season 2? Shoot. I think that Invincible season 1 is great TV. So is Loki season 2. That's so tough for me. I might lean Invincible by a hair. I don't know. That's too tough. Too tough to call, but I think I'm about to wrap this up soon, so I'll answer like a couple more questions, and then we'll get out of here. I got to eat dinner still and finish getting this Stranger Things video out. So I'm posting a video pretty much not long after the stream ends, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, it's been a real fun stream, guys. And if you're on the replay as well, thank you for being here. What's my favorite Stranger Things location I've visited? Hopper's cabin is high on that list just because it had such a personal touch to it. And Hopper's my favorite character. So I feel like that one is one of my faves. But downtown Hawkins, which is Jackson, Georgia, just being in the city, there's a special atmosphere created. How much do I think Lilo and Stitch will make? Will it make $1 billion? It's going to come close. I think that it goes. Yeah, I think it does 900 million. I mean, Minecraft is over 920 right now. I looked it up the other day. 920 million. So I think that this does. It does numbers. I think it gets to the 800 to 900 range. It could totally make the push. We'll see though. We'll see. Started playing football. Got any advice for someone like me starting out? There you go, dude. Hell yeah, actually. I played football 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, and then a lot of like just tackle with my friends. Like we'd go to the high school field on the weekends and just play football. What position are you playing? I feel like you would be maybe built like a wide receiver. Do you have wheels, Mike? I don't know. I'm just messing. But yeah, wide receiver. There you go. Or like corner, maybe. I feel like you got wheels. Tell me I'm wrong. I feel like you got some wheels on you, man. So I'd say, yeah, defensive back is my guess, or wide receiver. Physical conditioning is huge. And then honestly, study the tape, just like learning the game. I feel like people who go far in football, it's not just based on athleticism. It's mental as well. On top of being a physical, like studying the game, become the game. Let's see. Have I ever thought about getting the Lego Hogwarts castle with 6,000 plus pieces? That's what I'm doing on Memorial Day. Sounds like a hell of a day. Haven't thought about it, but you know, I did the Shire with Rivendell with Cam, and that took forever. That was a huge set we did a while back. But no, I haven't thought about that honestly, because with Legos and Indy now, it's like my cat. I'm worried about him choking on a little piece of Lego that we lose, or just wrecking something. So I want to do the Home Alone house though this winter. Take a few more questions and then wrap it up. We should expect probably the full trailer for Squid Game Season 2 at Tudum, because that's about a month out. I have not seen Jessica Jones. It's on the list to maybe catch up on before Born Again, though, because I know Jessica Jones is going to be in it. Mick Virginia says, congrats to you and Campbell. Thank you. My fiance. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Good for Charlie. I do have a pet. His name's Indy. He's the cutest little kitten in the world. My favorite football team is the Georgia Bulldogs. Have been a dog for life since I was a wee lad. You can go find photos of me in a Georgia jersey with a helmet on. I was like 4 years old. Top 5 movies of the year so far in no order. Najah 2, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Thunderbolts. We'll go Companion. I'll go The Accountant 2. Best and worst of the year so far. The worst is definitely Minecraft still. And the best is, again, probably The Final Reckoning to me. I'll say it. Thoughts on Day-Lewis potentially playing Magneto? No way he comes out of retirement for that, right? No way. That'd be mad. Are you mad? Chris, have you heard about the Wicked for Good trailer day? Yeah, is it June 4th? I saw they were doing like you could go see the movie in theaters and then see this after, and like the tickets sold out so fast. I'm just gonna wait and watch it online. Mike says on middle linebacker still in the plays. There you go, man. I'd say bulk up then, dude. Honestly, hit the gym, hit the weights, 2 a days. Go for it. Why not, right? You should make another appearance on Escape Pod. I think we will one day. We plan to next time we're out there. But yeah, I think that's probably going to do it. I think that's going to do it, guys. I think that's going to do it. That was a fun stream, though. That was a fun stream. Thank you guys for being here. If you're live or on the replay, thank you so much. If you hit the like button, if you commented, if you watched silently, just being here means a lot. If you send a super chat, it means the world. But I'm actually going to go post a video today. So every single one of you in here, be on the lookout. And right when that video drops, go ahead and give it a like. It helps out a lot. So the video will be dropping in 15 to 20 minutes, probably, if I had to guess. I got to make the thumbnail, and those can be picky. But we'll see. It's going to be fun. So got a video coming in a short. Stay tuned for that. Lots of content coming this week. Fear Street Prom Queen review. Fear Street movies ranked. Mission Impossible movies ranked. It's a big week. Have the notification bell on. It really does help out. And just, go to the feed and update. And even if you guys only watch Stranger Things stuff, or you just watch the movie stuff and not Stranger Things, I consider you to watch one or the other. Give it a go. You never know. So I'm going to go eat some dinner. I'm going to get this video out. Damn fun stream. Thank you guys, as always, for being here. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.